Hey, y'all. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Kevin. Welcome to Hope Ignited.
It's a pickleball episode, which I'm realizing now is like a tongue twister a little bit. Can you say that 10 times? Pickleball party. But here's the thing. If we're going to talk about the sport of pickleball, which is just incredibly, it's rising right now. Everybody wants to be a part of the sport. All the celebrities are doing it. This is the guest that you're going to want to have for a pickleball episode.
Yeah, we kind of landed the guy that can tell us everything about the present and future of pickleball. So you're not going to want to miss that. Okay, so tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, so Dave Fleming is a pickleball broadcaster. He's a marketer, a content creator. We know that he does keynotes all across the country. He has an incredible resume in corporate America. Hopefully we'll be able to chat about that a little bit. You're going to want to hear more from Dave. And I tell you, his voice is probably going to sound familiar because if you love the sport of pickleball or if you watch the sport of pickleball, you've heard him calling the games.
That's right. This guy's hilarious. So he's going to fit right in. We're going to try to match wits with him. But and then you're going to want to stick around for afterwards because we're going to have a pretty good time. We got some pretty funny stuff planned for afterwards. So
we are going to give Anchorman a run for his money. Ron Burgundy will have nothing on us when this outro is done today.
All right. So stick around for Hope Ignited.
We'll see you soon. Just when we thought we were the greatest broadcasters in the world, the Lord delivered us the greatest.
I never thought that.
Do you have a complex
about
right now?
I thought that about myself.
Oh, well, that's fair. Do you have a complex right now because we are like with one of the greatest broadcasters of our generation?
Yeah, and every time I go to pick up a pickleball racket, I'm going to now think about the guest that we have today. Because we have royalty in here today.
Pickleball royalty. Help us welcome everyone to the studio, Dave Fleming.
Dave Fleming.
Well, that is quite the intro. Thank you, guys.
We'll just follow you around and do it all the time.
I would love it.
We're so happy you're here.
So happy to be here.
I mean, people right now are like, oh my gosh, I hear the voice. I'm associating this now. You're quite the star, my friend.
It's been a wild ride, and thank you for that. So it's the sport's on fire, and to be the mouthpiece of it is an unbelievable privilege.
Yeah, and I do want to get into the popularity of the sport, but before we do, you got to take us back because our connection to you stems a little bit deeper from your time in corporate America. There are a ton of people out there that are in a job that see themselves sitting behind a microphone. They see themselves on TV. For those people, explain to them how you went from corporate America to what you're doing now.
It's quite a ride. So I had a great job. I mean, I've led the marketing for Pizza Hut and Dr. Pepper, two huge brands here in Dallas. And while basically this started through comedy, basically, because I wanted to get paid to be funny. And
don't we all?
Yes, I know. And because my first job, they had me be Santa. I'm 5'8", 160. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
7 pillows to get to Santa.
Yeah.
And then, do the big bottler conference. You're funny. And I'm like, well, this is just add-ons to everything else that I had to do. So I started to write down everything I thought was funny in the office. Break room is funny. What people will eat in there is funny. Emails are hilarious.
Yes.
And so I started doing that, and I wrote a one-man show called Man vs. Office, which is all the things that are funny and everyone can relate to in corporate America. And I've performed that 100 times, once on Broadway. And
what?
Let's go.
Now.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and it was sort of the impetus to leave corporate America. So I went out and started doing professional speaking as well as corporate comedy. And I also have played tennis all of my life. And so the tennis background was the impetus to get to pickleball because my high-level tennis partner's wife said, you guys need to come play pickleball. And this was like 7 years ago. And I'm like, I have no idea what you just said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What in the world did you just say?
Yeah.
And we played the wrong rules and all of that. But all these things sort of came together, and then pickleball caught fire, and now I get to be the voice of this whole thing. And
You were
it's
just at the right
unbelievable.
place at the right
Yes,
time. Like,
literally.
isn't that funny
Literally.
how
Yeah.
you could never map out anything like that? You know, like no one would ever say, I'm going to leave this job. So you're sitting there in a meeting, at Dr. Pepper or whatever, and you're going over market segmentation, analysis and all this stuff. And your mind, and to some degree, is like drifting off into, wow, I'd love to do the, comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I can get paid for that, whatever. And you kind of start going down that path. And then all of that talent, for that and skill you developed in the first part of your career ends up finding this path into this emerging sport. So like go back to when you were first introduced pickleball, like you got to come out and try this out, and you tried it where you just kind of like, oh, this is really fun. Like when did you catch the vision?
I want the tennis player brain to pickleball.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know that piece of it.
I'll answer both your questions,
'Kay.
and I'll do them in chronological
thank
order
you.
here.
Yeah,
You're
thank you.
welcome.
Prioritize Ashley's however one.
So, I mean, the answer to the first part is it's just unbelievably fun. And I think that's why it has taken over the sport or in the country. It's the fastest growing sport. And back to market segmentation. When you are the fastest growing multiple times back to back to back, that's hard to do usually because compound growth is hard. And that is not a problem because you can put an 80-year-old and an 8-year-old on the court and they're having a great time. And I don't know anything else that you can do that.
That's what it
And-
feels like when we work together, an 80-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Wait.
Yeah.
Who's the
thing.
80-year-old? And you're trying to say me? Hey, I think
Jury's
have we ever
out.
played pickleball together?
We have, yeah.
Like
For
when the
NBC
company
retreat.
thing?
Yeah.
I think we have a girl now that her name is Vanessa. Shout out to Vanessa that works with us.
Sneak attack.
And Vanessa, last time we played, we went to chicken and pickleball.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Chicken and pickle. Yeah.
Chicken
and
pick.
pickle.
Yeah.
Which is cool. All these little venues that are popping up like that, dedicated for that, like a Friday night. You want to go hang out with your friends and eat and all
Or
that.
a Tuesday at 3 o'clock.
Or Tuesday at 3. So we were there that day, and like Vanessa, she works in our accounting department. Real quiet,
Very behind the
mild-mannered.
scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she was already good. And so I was doing a one-on-one meeting with her the other day, and just kind of catching up. Like, hey, how's everything going? What have you been doing? And so she tells me, well, I play pickleball every day. I've been playing for 2 to 3 hours a day. And since that back when, last year when we were doing it. So she's just smoking now. I'm sure.
Coming to an Olympics near you.
Isn't that
Vanessa
crazy? So
from
she's like
accounting.
showing up. So have you seen this happen where like people are kind of going all in on this sport?
His name is Drew Brees. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Drew?
I think the answer to that is yes. And that's why this is going so well because it's gotten America moving as well, which I think is incredibly important because it's people of all ages are playing. But I think it's addictive, and it's addictive in the best possible way because unlike other sports, you are 14 feet away. So the kitchen is the special part of pickleball, which is the area you can't volley the ball 7 feet on either side of the net. So you're really close to your competitor throughout the event. You're having fun. It's very communal, and it is becoming a lifestyle for everybody.
Yeah.
Vanessa is a perfect example. Like, I am scheduling my life around it. I am not going on
That's her
vacation.
working out.
I'm not going on vacation unless the hotel or the place we're staying has a pickleball court.
Yeah.
Mom and dad find one when we're going to go have Thanksgiving. We're having turkey, but we're having some freaking pickle with it too.
Yes.
And it's amazing. This is not a fad. This is going to happen forever. It's getting huge on the college campuses. I'm seeing all the little Sparkies playing in our junior PPA out there too, and it's a phenomenon that I am thrilled to watch.
It's exciting. And I mean, a couple questions for you. I do want you to tell me a little bit more about the tennis brain behind it. Like, my husband played tennis in college, and I think that's why he likes it because it was easy for him to pick it up. I think he was surprised that I could pick it up easy as well because he was like, you've never played tennis a day in your life. And I'm like, there's no correlation in my mind. In his mind, he's the greatest pickleball player in the world because he played tennis. Talk to me more about that.
Yeah. So I would say easier to learn, hard to master from just about anybody. Tennis, you have the idea of swinging at a ball from below your waist, and that is a big advantage. And the movement is similar. The differences are the kitchen that I talked about. The ball doesn't bounce up as high. So there are a lot of high-level tennis players that go to the local park, and 70-year-old Ethel just schools them because they understand the chess, not checkers part of pickleball. And that is what is really, really fun about this. I think tennis players have a little advantage, of course, when they're starting, but some of the best athletes in the world, we have baseball player, we have sport players that have come from other sports, and we also have pro tennis players that have come to start trying their hand at pro pickleball. So you're ahead with tennis for sure, just because of the mentality, but then you have to change because the sport is not the same.
You're saying let your wife beat you. That's what I'm hearing you say.
100%.
Well, that's always a good thing
Happy
to do,
wife,
right?
happy life.
Exactly.
Amen.
Come on.
Yeah.
Positioning, like with the like racquetball.
Is that your pickleball movement?
Yeah, that's why I'm terrible at it. It's like I'm swatting flies.
Yeah.
Racquetball was what, to me, it felt the most like, or because that's a thing like that used to be huge, obviously, like 20, 30 years ago, or more back in the 80s and 90s, and everyone was doing cocaine and stuff like that. All the guys in Miami, they were playing racquetball.
Wow. Yeah.
But not me. I wasn't in that world. I was 10, so I just need to back up on that.
I wasn't even thought of.
Aardvark. No, I'm kidding. We have a code word when we need to edit something out, but we're not going to edit that out because that's good stuff.
Yeah, I like
Okay, so back to cocaine and racquetball. Racquetball back in the day, like what I always remembered was you could get an old guy and he'd come in there and he would have like knee braces and a neck brace and, braces all over. And you're like, I'm going to kill this guy. Like, I'm going to just smoke this guy. I remember at the rec center, we had this guy and he was unbeatable. And the thing was, he never moved. He would just stay in one spot. And he was so skillful at positioning his shots. So it was just like, he was just flicking the wrist, and I'm like running around, diving around.
So he's getting you through the cardio.
Well, like you can have all this youthful energy, and I feel like that way, like if you play someone who's really good at tennis, same thing, they're just placing shots. So I'm just kind of curious, like from a pickleball perspective, like how do you know if you walked up and you saw some court and immediately, no matter what that person looks like, how do you know as a broadcast announcer, like that person's really good?
They look like me.
Exactly. If Ashley isn't there, then it's hard to not have that perfect standard is the standard of Ashley. But after that, I think what has happened with pickleball is it started and had this perception of being an old person sport, and now the best player in the world is 18 years old. So that has changed significantly. I think actually at the highest level, movement is actually one of the most important things to me, to see if you can get in position. At the park, I want to see shot making. I want to see decision making more than anything, because the court's only 20 feet by 44 feet. So even though it looks like a tennis court just to the naked eye, it isn't from the geometry of it. So I like to see.
They have the angle, right?
Yes.
Like they're like, okay, I'm cutting off angles.
100%.
3 steps. I'm over here. I'm playing. You can like see that, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Kevin's a big NASCAR guy. So talk to us about pickleball in the way of like Xfinity Cup Series. Like if he's just playing like rec pickleball and he's really good, what is the trajectory of the sport?
Fabulous question. So I get that asked a lot, because there's a lot of tennis players that think, oh, I could be really good at this.
Yeah,
and then
I married one.
I want to be on national Fox broadcasts and show the world how great I am at something. I think it's tournaments and it's reps against when there's somebody keeping score. I think that is different than you go out to the park and play recreational pickleball, which is great. It's the foundation of our sport. But then when you want to get up and get going, there needs to be pressure. There needs to be competition. There needs to be a referee telling you the score. There needs to be, I blew a lead. How do I deal with that? And I think all of the things that tennis players have, they've experienced that in singles. Certainly, it's only you to solve the puzzle out there. So there's tournaments, and then we just started this year, actually, which is a very good way to get to the top. We have a challenger series now. So if you think you're good, you can get in and play some of that and see where you stack up at a level below before you head out to the Carvana PPA Tour and see what it's really like.
So that was going to be my next question. Explain to us a little bit more about PPA Tour.
Okay. So
show it off
what
proudly.
Is the PPA? What is that?
Yeah, so that's Professional Pickleball Association. And what's been a wild for me with this is the growth of the sport at every level. So I talked about the Sparkies up to all the people playing recreationally, but the pro game is as on fire as anything. We had National Fox a couple weeks ago where the whole country's getting to see our athletes. So we go to 20 plus venues across the country all year long. And it's, I'd say, similar to tennis from the standpoint of you're playing for points and rankings, and there's 4 majors throughout the year. Those are our slams. And people who play are interested in seeing the best. People who don't play are interested in seeing what the best looks like. And I think that's what's been exciting for us is for a while the attendance was I'm playing, and that's one of the coolest parts about us is you can play in the very same tournament and have some of the best players in the world playing a few courts over from your amateur level event, and our players are so accessible still. And I think that camaraderie of pickleball is what's big. So we have that, and then we have the team side, which is Major League Pickleball, which is teams from all across the country that are playing a team format of the same pickleball that you're used to. And shout out to the Dallas Flash who won last year. Let's go. So
that's amazing.
so that starts up here in Orlando at the end of the month.
Very cool.
I think do the Dude Perfect guys, you know who those guys?
Yes,
Don't
of
they have a
course.
team?
I was over there a couple weeks ago. So they are part of a team, and that's what's been amazing. LeBron James is an owner, Tom Brady is an owner, so Eva Longoria is an owner.
Yeah.
It's been cool to see celebrities jumping into this and playing. That's what I think has been cool too. They've invested a bit, but it's also Scotty Scheffler's very good at pickleball. Dirk Nowitzki
Of course
plays.
he is.
Drew Brees.
Scotty's good at
Drew
everything.
Brees,
Drew Brees,
exactly.
yes.
A lot of,
I can't. Does Dirk, his wingspan just got to be
ridiculous.
ridiculous, but also his knees are shot. So
Yeah, I bet his
Once
wife
he-
is way better than
RIP
he
to
is. Yeah.
Dirk's knees. But so like the celebrity angle on that, do they come? How often do they come out to the tournaments? Like, do you end up bringing them on? Hey, LeBron, come over here.
It depends on who we're talking about. What we've done a lot of, and we did here for our World Championships, is we've had celebrity events where we had Tony Romo in the booth with me, which was very fun.
Oh, wow.
And then we had Dirk, Jason Kidd, Scotty Scheffler out there. So I think most of the time it's fun to showcase the athletes in a different way than you're used to seeing
Absolutely.
them and see that. And then we put one of our scrappiest female players, Elise Jones, who's like 5'1", next to Dirk, and that juxtaposition of height just was so entertaining to see a high level athlete that she is in our sport next to Dirk. It was fantastic.
Is there
that.
like a Jordan so far?
Yes.
Who?
So on the female side, her name's Anna Lee Waters. She's 18 years old. She is as dominant as Michaela Schifrin is in skiing, or Katie Ledecky in swimming. She is a monster at 18. She started playing when she was literally 12 and pro right after that. She's just a prodigy. She was on the national soccer watch list too. So she's just a great
Multi-sport.
athlete that they were like, wait a minute. And luckily for us, she chose pickleball. On the men's side, his name's Ben John. So we do have playing right now the 2 best players. He's 26 that have ever played. So that's what's been fun for the fans too. Like, you're getting to see insane, maybe generational talent right now
so
out
cool.
on the tour.
Hopefully we don't trade him to LA.
for a bag of peanuts.
A question I have for you about that is like, okay, you're from this area and you know the mecca, like the soccer that North Texas is, but they say put your kids in soccer because it translates to every other sport. What do you think outside of tennis? Have you seen a sport that really helps them with their trajectory into the sport of pickleball?
I think I'm a play anything guy.
Okay.
We have players that one of the best players from Canada played softball and baseball actually as a female. So baseball, the hand-eye, and all of that is important. Soccer from the movement. We have hockey players that were goalies. Like, think about the hand-eye you need for that, for all the all the firefights we have at the kitchen line. So I don't
They're called firefights?
Yes.
All the
Okay,
terminology,
that's funny.
it's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun that we have our own
This
vernacular.
can I just say this?
Yeah.
This feels like we're about to have a movie come out that Will Ferrell or Ben Stiller is going to do, where it's like
Dodgeball.
called Pickled or something, you know?
Well, there
Where
is. Are you making that up, or do you know this?
No, I don't. Is there
is a
actually?
Ben Stiller movie called The Dink coming out.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
Oh man, get ready, because it's going to both be like satirizing or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, but also create interest.
Yeah,
So Ben Stiller, seriously?
I thought you
I
knew
called that. No, I didn't. That's amazing.
It's not in the
That's-
notes over there.
I'm
That's
also
great.
really proud to be a part of the social movement. I'll give my friend Caitlin a shout out. I was invited to my first Dinks and Drinks social
yes,
gathering.
let's go.
So I may have to hit you up on attire for that.
Yes.
Which I'm curious about the attire for
Okay.
all the females that are listening
Yeah.
today. Is there like a white Wimbledon requirement? Like what is pickleball attire? How does that differ from maybe tennis even?
I don't think it differs a lot. We actually have our first major of the year out in Palm Springs, where everybody does wear white.
Okay.
And the court is one color green. It just looks
Like my
fantastic.
shirt?
Yeah.
Or sweater.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
the court.
Skin tone.
You're
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
court.
Yeah. I thought we were talking about white.
Yeah, white and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Everything's fine.
You are
Yeah.
the masters.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
No, be fun, be whatever. Like, I think it's all about what's your personality. I
Yeah.
mean, we've had players wear bucket hats. We've had players come out there and have. I like when the guys are mixed doubles and the women match. It just looks better.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I would say if you're going to play doubles at Dinks and Drinks, match with your partner.
I'm here for it. I'm gonna try to go like John Daly. Like I want a loudmouth.
Oh, okay,
like,
yeah.
do you have a pickleball player like that?
Oh
like,
yeah,
do you have
that's
somebody
exactly
who's
what I was
just
going to ask.
yeah? Like I want
like
to know
a real
who that.
Hellraiser, you know, like Happy Gilmore comes in there and just disrupts the whole thing.
Who's the John Daly of
Who's
pickleball?
irreverent?
Yeah.
So the guy that gets the most attention, his name is Tyson McGuffin, who has lots of tattoos, loves to play to the crowd.
Yeah.
And really understood at the beginning of this that your own individual brand was really important to this as well. So he's got a great name, Tyson McGuffin. The show,
bad boy of
Scooter
pickleball,
McGavin.
Tyson McGuffin.
The show.
He takes a swig of whiskey.
Yes, his
He
walk-up
has-
music.
no, he has-
and
he's
takes a
so-
cigarette and mashes
Okay.
it out on the court.
lot
like
of
it. We can really work with
here's
that.
what
Lot of bad
really
habits
did.
today.
Here's what really did happen. He did shotgun a light beer at the end of a match.
Of course, and he smashed it
As
on
he
his
should.
head.
That
And he
Dinks
takes
and
the
Drinks.
paddle
And then guess who got
rips it down the line.
guess who got a sponsorship? There you go.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That's the way to do
Who
it.
sponsored him? What was it like?
Light. Yeah.
Like a
They did.
That's
Yeah.
really
Beer.
cool.
Oh,
One of the super awkward
feel like
things
I'd
we
fit
should
into
just
this.
get out of the way because it makes no sense to me and I really need you to justify it. You're a Steelers fan on purpose? That's
sorry.
so...
Okay, let's go.
we're
Let's,
Cowboys fans.
Yeah, I was
Come
gonna
on.
say,
I am
like-
not. No,
Well,
I'm
no,
a
no,
Saints
no.
fan.
I'm sorry when I say we. I
Your
mean,
Tony
but
Romo comment did
she's on her own
nothing for
island.
me, but I am a big Saints fan, which
I
is why
felt that with all the Drew Brees.
That's right.
We're
Drew
just
Brees.
trying to
he's the
insert
patriarch
Drew
of the sport that
Yeah.
you love so much. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for. But
Okay.
talk to me about the Steel. Like, what bet did you lose that you're a Steelers
Okay, first
fan?
of all, more Super Bowls than any team. So.
Okay, he's
That's
one
fine.
of those
Here we go.
sensitive
He
Steelers
doesn't
fans.
No, I'm
understand
not
the word
sensitive
Super
at
Bowl
all.
as a Cowboys
I
fan,
know.
so you might have to like define it for him.
Yeah, but it's so long ago. But I mean, you guys have been better more recently than
We've
we
been
have.
better than the Cowboys since I moved here 20
Yeah.
plus years
Big
ago.
Ben plays. I've seen him. Like
Well, he
he's
used
left.
to.
I've seen him leave the Pat McAfee show, and they're like, "You gonna go get some pickleball in?" And I've heard him talk about it, so that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, and I went to Miami of Ohio, so that worked out very
Nice,
well with the
yeah.
whole Roethlisberger thing. My parents met at the copier at U.S. Steel in Pittsburgh. So,
Oh, really?
Yes. So
Wow.
I have.
You do have roots.
I have black and gold blood, and I
love
couldn't be
it.
happier. And I think that's sort of been my life. Is I am very passionate about the things that are important to me, which is my family, my teams, my city, and then obviously now with the pickleball. And I think that's the way I've just chosen to live my life. And that was like going for it and, putting aside a corporate career and going. And you want to do comedy, go do it. You want to go figure out how to be a broadcaster in this sport, go figure it out. And yeah, I'm not going to fight you on black and gold. I just am black and gold.
It's
Oh
fine.
man,
Yeah.
that's how you know.
Yeah.
When a guy's
Fine.
like, there's a look in their eye. Like
Oh,
he's got
yeah.
a look in his eye. Like
Let's
don't
go.
go there. Like
Yeah,
you,
the
do you have like a
flags.
tattoo in
Yeah.
your back. Like
Big-
I don't.
big
I don't
Tomlin
do the
fan.
full
tattoos
logo.
because I'm soft, but but there's a flag on the front of the house. I mean, I think what's interesting for me, and I think everybody in the way they live, is like people think of me when they see the Steelers on that people haven't seen in a long time, and they think of me when pickleball, and I don't mean that in a obnoxious way. I mean it in a they're used to seeing that's my brand, that's my individual brand, and I've cultivated it in a certain way for sure.
You're definitely on the Steelers Wikipedia. Yeah. I know it. You talk about your family, and I know you've got that pink shirt on.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about your family and your ties to breast cancer.
Yeah. I wish I didn't have it, obviously, but I got the December of 23 is one of those times my sister called, and I don't remember what me and my lovely wife, the lovely Deb Fleming, were doing, and then she called again. I'm like, okay. When somebody's calling 3 times in a row, they really want to talk, and you get the call, and it's just like, holy mackerel, what in the world? And, then it gets into what is important. And it's been hard to watch her, struggle. And,
understandable.
But she is getting, just watching her fight through chemo and fight through everything she's had.
Really seen a different side of her, and probably, I think that's one of the things that's amazing about when our loved ones and friends are going through that is, everyone gets to look at each other in a new perspective. It's a real gift in a lot of ways because you get to see the strength that someone has. You also, if you're the one that's going through it, you see your friends and family rally around you, and you get to a reprioritization and a refocus on what actually matters in life. Have you seen how have things changed in your relationship with her?
Not at all, and I think that's what's important. Like that, the support we have across the board, whether it's go say something funny on the broadcast, brother, and get that done. To, I hope you're doing okay, and watching her figure this out and fight. But she's been an inspiration to the family, and so at Christmas last year we all had pink shirts, and it was a whole big extended family down at the beach, and it touched her a lot, and
that's great.
It's nice that we're on the other side of it, because I know there are families that unfortunately don't get to be on the other side. We're nowhere near the other side of it, but she is doing way better, and it's to watch her be a champion in this.
What a gift.
Awesome.
Yeah. What's her name?
Meredith.
Okay. Hi, Meredith. We love you. You inspire us. And
good job, Meredith.
The reason you're first of all, pink is your signature color. I want you to know it looks very good on you. But also that's what this entire podcast is about. One of the reasons we genuinely felt like you were the perfect guest for this was because we know what levity does. Levity brings hope to people during very challenging times. And so I'm sure it's such a reassurance to have you as a brother, just like never forget the power of that, just being who you are, but so much of a piece of that is the comedy side of it. And I think it's so important that other people listening and watching today hear that, that sometimes the way that you inspire hope is by bringing a little bit of levity to a situation like that through comedy. So thank you for being who you are. And Meredith, we love you. We're thinking of you. We hope that you laugh today. And I think it's important that people hear that story.
Yeah, also too, I think, and I can speak from experience on this, like guys, a lot of times we were like, I don't know how to support. I don't know what my role is. Of course, men want to fix stuff, we want to figure out how we can support. And I think first of all, it's just starting off, just being available, and being there for our loved ones and asking how they're doing, and, going out of our way to, of course, help. But there's just this kind of an emotional being available, to talk and just being yourself, and being present. It's such an important thing. So, men, there is a huge opportunity out there to help by just your presence, being active and available for people when they're going through their breast cancer experience. But also, it's just really important to keep moving on in life, to have life continues. Yes. And I think one of the things is when cancer patients are going through that is it's like sometimes they just want to talk about other things. Not everything is breast cancer, which is exactly why we do this show, by the way, where we're we have in mind the folks that might be sitting in a chemo chair or something like that. and they want to just talk about other things and talk about, it's not just like
think of something else.
Right. Pickleball, for instance.
Yes,
so.
Exactly. And I will just say we should put the link here, but check out Guys for Good. So if you are going through, that journey as a male and you don't know where you fit in, or you maybe want to be a bigger advocate for your loved one going through breast cancer, NBCF has an amazing program called Guys for Good. So make sure that you check that out. Dave, before we go, I want to know what's next for you. It sounds like you're headed to Orlando, maybe. Are you just traveling a ton these days?
I am, and it's a privilege to be the voice of this sport and watching it go. So as long as we can find the right balance with the lovely Deb Fleming and get to see family, because I do travel a bunch, but man, it's fun. And, I approached the job of this lead announcer of the tour with the idea of how I've lived my life, which is I think people want to be entertained. And the thing I had to learn was when I was on stage, it's a conversation. You're saying something funny. Hopefully they laugh. Crickets are bad. And then I got in front of I'm calling pickleball, but I like to add humor, but there's no audience. So I had to get over that. So now what has happened, which has been fun for me, is where they put us, because it's a small court, so there are fans nearby. So I'm getting that instant gratification from a couple of fans in front of me, which is different, but still fun, because you're like, okay, good, that hit.
Can you crowdsource at all in those situations, or is it like the fans are off limits?
Pay some interns.
Exactly. Laugh track now. Press it.
Yeah, I no, because everybody's like, do you write down all the things? No, I think I love stream of consciousness.
That's exactly who we are.
And so I think that's better. So no, I want to do this as long as they'll have me. I've worked very hard to, be. The reason this works for me is I have built trust with the players. I'm a player that's played at a very high level, and then I just love the idea of just firing my passion into the microphone for everybody at home.
Yeah. And the trajectory of the sport, I sit on the board for Parks and Rec here in our city, and we cannot keep up with the demand of pickleball courts.
Oh, yeah.
It started out selfishly where we would activate the existing tennis courts as pickleball. And then tennis players were like, hey, what about me? Right. So we're like, okay, we need to build dedicated pickleball courts. We are seeing a ton of people doing the sport court at home, the next gen courts. You can go to a Frisco Rough Riders game and play pickleball.
Yes.
I know that they had their Frisco Pandas pickleball baseball night. It's just crazy to see how it's grown. What do you think is next for the sport of pickleball?
I think it's just growth. It'll be international. We've had a lot of our players over in Asia over the past couple of weeks, and it's been wild. And the love for our sport overseas, and especially in Asia. Asia loves racket and paddle sports, badminton, table tennis, and tennis. So I think you'll see that, and then we'll see the stars from those countries coming over and seeing how they stack up here. We had our first ever event in Australia earlier this year as well. So in the U.S., I think it's going to just keep getting bigger because of the joy and accessibility that pickleball brings, and we'll have more and more eyeballs on us and bigger sponsors and partners. And, Annalie Waters as I mentioned, is a generational talent, and I think we'll start to see her in bigger and not just pickleball-related places over the next couple of years. And then from there, I think it's college. It'll be a D1 sports at some point, because massive universities, Alabama and Stanford, to name just a couple of many, have put in big complexes, much like we'd love to have here in Frisco. So it's just all of it, because what could be a better intramural sport than pickleball? It's perfect on a small footprint. So pickleball is on a rocket ship, and it's fun to be on it.
What's the coolest? Two questions here. First of all, is there a Wimbledon type court where there's this pickleball court or facility where it's the best of the best? And then the second question is, what's kind of the most interesting or funny court that's been repurposed, where they took I don't even know, a mechanic's shop and turned it into this cool kind of pickleball.
Cool.
Is there anything like that?
So the biggest event is actually here at Brookhaven Country Club. So we literally build a massive stadium out there and had our world championships. We had Pickleball Boulevard. We had national touring country acts there. So that's in the fall. So you guys definitely need to go down there.
That's here.
In November.
So we can go see it here.
Wow. In
Yes.
November. San Clemente is at a Lifetime. That's my favorite place because beautiful sunken center court.
Yeah.
They have an outdoor gym. You can see the ocean from up
fun.
there. So
Yeah.
so that's probably my favorite just to play. It's the weather's perfect there in Orange County. And as far as repurpose, what's interesting for me with what's going on in pickleball is it's taking a little bit of the transition that tennis had, which it used to be everybody just show up at the courts and we'll play in whatever combination we have. Now people are wanting to play at their level or with their buddies or with their family. And with public courts, that's not usually the way it works. So now there's lots of indoor facilities. You mentioned Chicken and Pickle, but there's many. The Pickler Universe, Pickleball Kingdom are all here just in the Dallas area where people want guaranteed weather, so play inside, a court time that they can do. So a lot of those used to be Circuit Cities and Bed Bath and Beyond. So to answer your question, a lot of those big box RIP are now.
They're converting the real estate into like indoor facilities.
Yes.
See, that's smart. All you really need is just like space.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right?
There's an entire generation Googling Circuit City right now.
Circuit City,
which,
Comp USA. Those used to be my stomping grounds back in the day.
Same. I agree with that. Well, finally, for anybody that's listening today that is considering exploring the sport of pickleball, how would you encourage them to get started?
Just go get some paddles, go to Pickleball Central, get some paddles, and just find a court. It's easy to find. And then just go have fun, because here's my warning, actually, however. Once you play once, you're never going to stop. I don't know anyone that's ever quit, but for my family and for millions of families, it's become the thing they do, and it's going to be part of the Thanksgiving tradition and the Easter tradition and everything else. So just get out there, and once you play, and then watch the Carvana PPA Tour to see it at the highest of
Where do we watch
its
it?
powers. Pickleball TV. So we have our own channel. It's on every Samsung, LG, and
like a dedicated smart
so
channel.
it's one of
kind of thing?
it is one of those. And then Pickleball TV, the app. You can take me to the grocery if you're running some errands. It's okay. You can
Just let
Do you want to go to
whisper in
Circuit
my
City?
ear.
You can bring Dave with you to
Exactly
Circuit
right.
City.
Exactly right.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for your time. And we know you're busy traveling, but we are so excited to be a part of the momentum of the sport with you. And I hope you'll come back, and maybe we can get some players in the studio and hear their first take on it.
We got to get Anna Lee. What's her name?
Anna Lee
Winters.
Waters.
Yes.
Oh wait, no,
Yes.
that was the Vogue editor. Anna Winters. I messed
and
that
here
up.
we are.
Anna Lee Waters.
Anna Lee Waters.
Okay.
Anna
All right. I'm
Lee
gonna go look
Waters.
her up because
Yes.
she's you said the
She is the GOAT.
the goat.
I love it. Yeah, we need
Beautiful.
the GOAT in studio. Well, thank you for your
Thanks for
time. We
having
look forward
me.
to talking to
Yeah.
you again soon, and safe travels.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Hope Ignited. What a great episode. I'm so happy we finally got him in the studio.
Yeah, pickleball just is so fascinating to me. What were your takeaways from that? Like, what did you?
I mean,
get
that
out
I
of the
really
interview?
want to get a pickleball court at my house, because it sounds like we're behind.
That's
on
the
like
most elitist thing I've ever heard.
it wasn't a flex. It's just that here's the thing. NBCF did a great job at introducing several of us to the sport a couple of years ago for like a leadership and development summit. And I did catch the bug. Like, people say that all the time, like, oh, it's so addictive, you're going to fall in love. It's true about pickleball. And I think it's because not everybody is amazing at it like me, but it's an easy sport to pick up.
Yeah,
you know?
oh, definitely.
Yeah, especially for Vanessa. That was pretty fun.
So you're really looking into getting a court.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to get a court.
gosh.
Also, there's a piece of me that thinks Dave has a Steelers tattoo.
Absolutely. I'm convinced. He gave me that look, and I was like, Dave, you got a tattoo.
You know you
go
have
back
a
and listen to this.
tattoo.
Just what you just said about that, by the way. Do you remember that show back in the 80s, a comedy, Silver Spoons, Ricky Schroeder?
Sure don't.
Do you know
Just as a reminder, I am not your age.
You weren't even born yet?
No.
There was some show, and this kid had, some of the folks listening will remember this. He had a train in his house, and he had like a clicker where you could like open the door automatically, but he had this little train running through the house, and I was so jealous. I wanted to be Ricky Schroeder. I think if you were a kid who grew up in that time period, you know what I'm talking about. That's what Ashley's going to have. She's going to have a racquetball court, you're going to have a little pickleball court in your living room, right?
So that all story was for that ending?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not much of a payoff. Okay, what are we doing here? Let's move on. What are we doing?
Incredible episode with Dave. It was so much fun. Okay, listen.
And we technically didn't even say what our takeaways were, did we?
No, I mean, my takeaway was now I want a pickleball court. Your takeaway was I'm not as old as you.
My takeaway was one of the funniest things about that was I was envisioning the Ben Stiller movie thing, but like the Will Ferrell thing. And I'm like, this is perfect because they can mine for gold. And then the fact that they're doing it, and I looked it up, and it's called The Dink, and it's coming out, I don't know, probably coming out in the next year or so.
Yeah.
But it's like Ben Stiller's whole crew. You know, and they're going to, I don't know, it's like a pickleball retired tennis player who has to save the club by converting it over.
That'll be fun.
Isn't that going to be the funniest thing?
Yeah, you basically wrote that script during this episode of
real,
Hope
we could have
Ignited
just
for what
written
it's
the
worth.
script.
Yeah,
so
royalties.
Speaking of scripts.
Yeah, okay, we thought it would be really fun because Dave is just a world-class broadcaster to try our hand at broadcasting. I feel like broadcasting is one of those things where unless you have a fear of public speaking, which sometimes will disseminate when you're just looking into a camera and you don't have just like a live studio audience, everybody thinks they can do it.
Oh, yeah.
And so
like everyone thinks they can sing.
Yeah.
You know, delusion.
Exactly. So a couple of our producers, our producer Terrell and our producer Doug, thought that it would be fun to set up this challenge for us to see who is the better broadcaster
You
between
actually
the two
went
of
to
us.
school for this. I'm going to get smoked. You've done this professionally.
I mean, I went to the University
That's
of
not
Louisiana
fair.
at Monroe. Shout out Warhawks. But it was the School of Communications, and you had to pick an emphasis. And so mine was like PR. So you could be broadcast journalism. All that to say,
sideline reporter.
I'm going to beat you. It's fine.
Yeah, this is like deck is stacked. I'm willing to admit.
It's totally
so.
fine.
Therefore, I'm the underdog. So if I beat you, then
yeah, I love an underdog story.
take
Kevin
what
was
you
in that
will.
movie. So producer Doug, can you come in and tell us a little bit? We know nothing about this challenge. We don't know how this is going to go. Can you introduce this to the Hope Ignited audience?
Okay.
Yeah. So shout out to Terrell. He's here with the teleprompter in the back. Here's what we're going to do. We've got a script here for you ready to go. We're going to just start off with some AI. Thank you. Shout out to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Some AI jokes first.
You're welcome.
We're going to start with that. So yes, they do sound like robot dad jokes. We're going to start off with a joke. They're numbered. So you see them numbered up there?
Yeah.
Yes.
So am I reading a joke and he's guessing the answer? Like, how does that work?
No. We're just going to warm up real quick with some jokes.
So it's reading it as a broadcaster?
Yes, you're going to read it as a broadcaster. We're just warming up right now. We got a couple rounds.
We just happen to choose jokes or whatever is the thing to read. Okay.
I'm going to steal my mic back.
All right, so make me laugh, Ashley.
This is weird. I'm going to steal the mic back, and we're just going to go with this. And if you hear somebody shouting in the background, it's going to be producer Doug telling us what to do. So we will.
So you read the first one, you read the second one.
Ladies first. You sure you don't want Kevin to go first?
Okay. Go for it.
Veronica Corningstone. Okay, here we go.
No idea.
I tried meditation, but my brain kept playing the intro to Law and Order every time I closed my eyes.
Okay.
I don't get it. Can you give us dumb blonde jokes? Because I don't understand.
I accidentally joined a competitive cheese club. I thought it was Gouda vibes only. Turns out it's very cutthroat.
That was better. My phone autocorrected, I'm on my way to, I've betrayed the council. So now I'm not just late, I'm a fugitive.
Oh my gosh. That's awful. Oh great, I already messed it up.
It's going well.
I bought a planner to feel organized. Now I just write panic on every Tuesday and cross it off like a boss.
That's actually pretty good. I don't believe in love at first sight, but I do believe in deep emotional connections with weird furniture on Craigslist.
I once tried to break up a street fight by yelling, "You're both right." It worked. They teamed up and yelled at me. These are the dumbest jokes I've ever heard.
Was AI sleeping?
I'm sorry, AI. Like, I feel like AI is actually going to punish us in the future for embarrassing it.
We're ready for round 2.
Okay. So that was like we're warming our mouth up.
So round 2, Ashley, you're going to go first. We have a script ready for you. It's going to speed up as it goes. Okay. You ready?
No.
Round 2.
Ready.
Okay. Oh, now it's getting good.
Get a bleep button ready because I do feel like this is. Oh my word. Barry the baker bakes barely burnt bagels, but barely burnt bagels baffle Barry's bafflingly bit beagle Benny. Benny, Barry best batch of buttery bands bacon. Barry baked bitter but brave. Barry baited him with brisket, but brisket backfired. Benny, bits beside blueberry butter. But there's a lot of bad words I feel like I'm going to say. But Barry's buns bounced behind the bench, breaking Betty's bowl of boiled broccoli. Boiling with bewilderment, Betty bellowed, "Blame the bagel, Barry." And that's how it's done.
Why did she just turn deeper and deeper south the further you went into that? That was you just got like so many progressively into your roots.
Bad words that were about to come out of my mouth.
I'm surprised you didn't say
that
anything.
Was mean. That was hard. That's harder than you think it's going to be.
Thing. This is like I need to tap into remember the micro machines back in the day? Micro machines guy.
Also before I was born.
Eminem.
Please.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm fast.
That was a good reference.
Stanley swiftly sells slippery sardines at the seaside stand. Slippery sardines slide southward, slapping Stanley's socks. "Stop slinging soggy sardines," Stanley shouts, slipping on a seaweed, smacking into a sturgeon. 7 sea soul swoops. Blah, blah, blah. Stanley smokes, soaked, sloshed, and slight short friends. "Howdy, y'all. I'm Ashley. I'm melting down deeper and deeper into my..." It smells like sadness and sea monsters. Okay, there we go.
You made me sweat.
How was that?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I was doing fine for a while, but like, come on. I feel like you gave me a harder one.
No. You thought yours was harder? Mine was a lot of B words. Yeah. Mine was so hard.
We're going to do a final round.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I mean, like who won that?
Obviously me.
I give it to Ashley.
Ty?
Oh, come on.
I didn't have to default to a Southern Belle in the middle of mine.
You just progressively...
Okay, this round I will go Kevin in the middle.
This is our final round. Here's the thing.
Okay.
You have to read it as a pirate.
Oh, easy. Johnny Depp is one of my favorites. Okay. Ready? I'm so nervous. Captain Picklebeard piffles pickled pineapples from particularly peculiar sports. Perch proudly on Picklebeard's patchy shoulders, Percy. I don't know that word. Parrot with a penchant for pirate property. Pillage the pantry. Polish the plank. Pummel the porpoise. Percy Pickleboard's prized pistachios. Poppycock. I am Kevin. Percy protests profusely. Pirate's peg leg. I don't know a lot of these words. Just then, a pot of particularly puffy pufferfish pop up, pop side puffin. I don't know that word. Picklebeard's pickled pineapples. Panic pirates paddle past, but Picklebeard proudly and puffly proclaims, "Prepare the planky, pineapple, puffer, and pufflefish. Percy and I have poems to perform."
That was pretty good.
That was
I think a sip of well-earned water.
Rated R.
She just stripped the lining of her throat out.
Oh, man. Seriously.
That was impressive.
Script, Kevin.
I have to do the same thing? Oh,
as
come on.
he has to be something besides a pirate.
Well, I mean, it's like...
No, you got to do the pirate.
You have to be a female pirate.
Do I have to do the whole thing? Can I just do like a shorter version?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me just do I'll just go until it, like, it's logical.
He would like the peg leg version.
Captain Picklebeard, Pilfer's pickled pineapples from particularly peddled sports. Perched proudly on Picklebeard's patchy shoulders, Percy, a persnickety parrot with a penchant for pirate poetry.
Irish.
Pillage the pantry, while I'm turning Scottish. Percy squawks poetically, picking Picklebeard's pistachios. Poppycock. Percy, you persistent. I just skipped about 8 lines. Percy, you pestilent poultry. That's the bird on my shoulder.
Goodness.
Percy, this is so dumb. I'm done. I'm done.
Did anybody
I'm
else
done.
feel like you
Oh
were
my
like
gosh.
a leprechaun pirate?
I
Because
don't know.
That's
I just
exactly
turned
how I
into-
felt in the middle of that
It just
episode.
melted down.
That was incredible.
I tried.
Okay, but at the beginning,
Did I do
was,
okay in the beginning?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I
all
was
right. Did I
very
win that round?
Do you do that accent a lot? Like you're
uh,
really good at that.
Maybe for my kids, like, 15, 20 years ago. but-
Wow. Okay, can I ask you something? Do you prefer teleprompter or do you prefer just like winging it, stream of consciousness?
Well, it depends on what we're doing. Like if I'm doing a script of some kind,
You
like
would prefer to
PSA,
have the teleprompter.
I mean, the teleprompter's nice, like for if you have like a really like stats or you have something complicated, like when
Yeah.
we do PSAs or
mhm.
if you ever have to do anything where you're like thanking sponsors or donors or something like that, it's really nice to have like everything kind of there, and then you kind of make it your own. You know, you go off script a little bit or whatever.
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
I mean, same. I think it depends on the content of what it is we're trying to film. But I will say shout out to our producer, Terrell, because when he prepares the teleprompter for me on most occasions, he like writes it like I would say it.
Yeah.
So like you can see the Southern twang
Oh,
in it, or
yeah.
he'll like slow it down like, y'all.
Drew Brees.
Drew
It fits in
Brees.
there every
Yeah.
other line.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was so fun. That was a
Yeah,
really
good
fun
job, good
challenge.
job.
Thank you for the pirate assist too. That was
Yeah.
good. Even when it became a leprechaun, it literally
Well,
felt
yours
like
was just
I was in an
a
Ed
guy
Sheeran
with
song
like
or
laryngitis
something.
or something.
Well, I mean,
Prospector with laryngitis. Gonna
maybe
go look
we
for
should work
gold.
on our pirate accents.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway from
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna spend a lot of time on that.
And also that Dave is really good at his job because it's not as easy as it
No,
seems
it's
being a
not. I have much
broadcaster.
respect. Like to actually, to do what he's doing, where he's, kind of injecting personality into the whole thing. And I mean, it's really cool. Like again, just kind of talking about pickleball for a second. Like I have a lot of friends, I think we all do, who are really into it. And if you haven't gone out and tried it, you definitely have to go try it, because everybody kind of has the same thing where they go in, they're like, maybe if you're like not real athletic or you're out of shape, and you go in there and you have that little moment where you make a nice shot and you go, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, but my problem is I'm like, I could be pro. And it's like, bro,
Yeah.
you've had one good shot
And
in
you get
4
humbled.
hours.
Yeah, exactly. Then someone who's good, but it's really fun. I mean, obviously as the sport's just going to continue to blow up. So it's kind of neat, like watching in real time. I'm telling you, when that movie comes out, is going to sport is going to go to another level.
That'll be next level. And we had Dave. We knew him win.
Yeah, we knew him win.
We knew him win.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
Shout out to
big
the
deal,
Frisco
Dave.
Pandas, our local team. Let's
Yeah.
get out and watch that.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for another fun episode. We hope that even when it got a little bit heavy today, that the levity, that we brought you hope and that we made you laugh and that we made you check out maybe from a dark moment whenever
Yeah.
you needed it. That's what we're all about. And it was a really fun
That's
episode.
right. And we're not about pirate accents. I've learned that. That was terrible. Or AI
no
jokes.
matter
Those are
how
the worst.
Scottish or Irish they may seem.
Yeah.
We sure are not. Well, thanks for joining us, you
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
We'll see you
We'll
next
see you
time
again soon.
on Hope Ignited.
Arr.